M Show. Listen, I am your hype girl. I am your fire starter. I am your home girl next door. Listen, I am your host for the next 30 minutes. I am Marchelle Sterling. And as always, it is always an honor and a privilege to have you. You know, I always count it a joy that you make a decision, because in life, we get to make choices. And you choose to watch the Vitamin M Show as your source of motivation and inspiration. So thank you for joining us for another week. I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, I see you getting your vitamins. Hey, get your vitamins. Hey, get your vitamins. Hey, get your vitamins. Yes! You gotta get your vitamin M every week. You already know. And listen, tonight is going to be fire up in here. I know I tell you that a lot, but each week it's always something. It's always exciting. There's always something new. And listen, we are kicking off our new series, and if you missed the opening episode on last week, you have to go back to the opening episode and see it. Don't forget to go watch the mini series opening, motivation and music, and what impact does music have on motivation, and how do they work together? So listen, I am not doing this show. I did the last show by myself. I am not doing tonight alone. I have the perfect person that is going to join me and talk about motivation and music. And she is affectionately known as Ellen once again. She is a Texas-based singer and songwriter who has spent the last decade writing songs that include messages of hope, love, and self-worth. And isn't that what the Vitamin M Show is all about? But listen, I'm gonna give her the opportunity, because I don't want to take up all the time. You have got to meet her. If you are not following her, when you finish with tonight, you will. So I want to welcome to the Vitamin M Show, Ellen once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Guys, you just don't know how excited I am about having you on the show. So introduce yourself to the audience. Tell them a little bit about who you are.
So my name is Ellen. I go by Ellen once again because I have always come back to music. So it's Ellen once again, doing music, doing what I love. I'm a singer-songwriter, artist. I write songs, a lot of them geared towards television and film. And a lot of the songs have been played in Target, Dove commercials, and movies, All American, on Netflix and different networks. So that's what I do. And during the pandemic, I started getting online more because so many things were shut down. I didn't want that to stop the music. So then I moved to social media sites like TikTok, where I started doing duets as well. And I've had so far over 400,000 people to join me singing. So that just means that means the world. So I also play for a church, and I could keep going, but music is just definitely what I love to do. And it's just what I spend pretty much all of my time just creating and making music.
Oh my gosh, that is, I'm telling you, if you're not following her on social media, ma'am, the duets the TikTok duets, yes, but the TikTok duets, so just take it for me. It's that for me. But I love it. You are award winning as well. I mean, I'm like, you are just, what more can I say? Listen, music is an integral part for me. And I am not a singer, by the way. Let me just clarify. You are the show people. I already know. So if we are not, you stay in the singing lane. I'm not going to do that, because that's not me. But talk to the audience about our series is starting out about motivation and music and how the two go together. So when you hear motivation and music, what does it make you think of?
Well, I write a lot of songs. So music and motivation kind of go hand in hand for me,
Okay.
because a lot of the songs I write are very motivational, and it's very encouraging, and it's a lived experience. Those are the things that I've gone through, the things that I've been through, the times that I feel like I need encouragement. I make sure to encourage other people, and that kind of keeps me going. And most of my songs are very encouraging. I do write some love songs, but it's very encouraging, and it's I wrote one during the pandemic called
Okay.
"Be Okay,"
Be okay. So
and
what? Be okay. That just
yeah.
see, that intrigues me already. What? Talk to us about be okay.
Be Okay is a song that came out of the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
2020, when
Oof.
everything was, it just seemed like it was so unsure. And everything around us, nobody knew what was going on. This was just very, very new. Schools were shutting down. And it's like,
Yes.
what are we going to do? And, I was feeling anxious. I was talking to other friends who were
Mm-hmm.
feeling the same way. And so, one thing that gets me through really tough times are writing songs. And that's where, I wrote it's just pretty much it's gonna be okay no matter what comes my way, and it's very scripture based, but you know, it's just going to be okay. And I had to kind of keep on speaking that because again, we didn't know, but I wasn't going to speak. Oh my goodness, everything is falling apart.
Part.
I'm going to I'm going to speak, no matter what's going to come next, I know that it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this part. And I spoke that to myself. I spoke that over my family. I spoke that to my friends. And I just wanted to speak that and let my words and let the music speak even the things that I didn't feel at the time, but I wanted the
Oh.
music to speak it and I wanted to speak it. And for me, the way that I communicate is through the music, is through speaking it through song. And so this has just been a song that was played on KXT. I've had on my page, I've had some people write like, "Hey, I heard this song on the radio. I was going through. I pulled over on the side of the road." And I mean, it was just, it was I wrote
Mm.
it. I wasn't thinking about the future. I was thinking about we're just going to speak this for this moment because we don't know what's going to happen next. And so for me, music and motivation is just that. It's just like I'm going to continue to encourage no matter how I feel,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna let the music encourage me. So it's like twofold. It's going out, but it's also going back in as well.
Wow. That is, but that to me is such a is what I'm thinking of when I think of music and motivation because it's you took a moment. And guys, I mean, like, audience, have you ever thought about that? Like, in a moment, somebody is able to make a connection. And that's one of the things that I talked about on last week was that we use music as a way of being able to connect and being able to feel. And
Yes.
so, in that moment, when you were feeling the opposite,
Yes.
there was this opportunity to say, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And for somebody else, what does that, for somebody, I mean, to me, I cannot imagine when somebody else writes or says, I had to pull over on the side of the road. Like, how do you, that to me is just, that has to be a lot of emotion and feeling with it.
Well, honestly, that goes back to, and I know, at
Hmm.
some points I talk your ear off, or it goes back to music motivation, but it also goes back to purpose because I've been doing music for a while, and even before like some of the other things, before some of the awards, before
Hmm.
they can see the physical manifestations of that. I had people saying, "Are you gonna do music? Are you sure?" And I get it. A lot of it was concern, but a lot of it was just like, "What? Don't you want to do something else?" And it's just like I didn't feel like I could. I feel like this was a part of who I am. This is a part
Wow.
of the purpose. So I know. I mean,
Okay, Ellen is about listen. Ellen about to take us. Ellen is about to take us in. We are going to come back after these messages and talk about the motivation and the music, but how music has led her to her purpose and what she does in life. We'll be back after these messages.
Are you ready to transform your life? Meet Marchelle Sterling, the dynamic motivational speaker who inspires thousands to unlock their full potential. With her powerful messages and practical strategies, Marchelle helps you overcome obstacles and achieve your dreams. Don't miss out on the opportunity to ignite your passion and embrace your greatness. Book Marchelle Sterling for your next event and start your journey to success today.
Welcome back to the Vitamin M Show, and remember, we are here just having an amazing time. We have our special guest, Ellen once again, and if you were already with us, then you know the meaning behind her. You know the meaning behind her name. And we're talking about motivation in music and the impact that it has on our life. And we are particularly focusing in on purpose. How does music guide us into our purpose, into what we need to be doing, and the role that also plays in the motivation to do what we need to do? So when we left Ellen, we were so no, but welcome back to you once again. Thank you for coming. I am so excited about this. I am like, I don't,
Same.
I'm like, I'm just beside myself with this whole situation. I'm like, man, I'm over here. But before we left, you were talking about how music had kind of led to your purpose. And then I was like, okay, wait a minute, we gotta run to commercial break. Oh no, wait, wait,
Yes,
wait, wait,
yes.
wait. So let's pick up back right there because you were saying that when you were making that decision to go down the music route, then there was conversations or people asking like, do you really want to do that? Is that really what you want to do? Which leads into our big discussion tonight about purpose and how, like, what is purpose and all of the things that it, like, the impact that it has on us and the impact that it's had on your life. So kind of go from there and like talk to us about that.
So I've been playing music since I was younger. My mom sang. So this was
Same.
originally, I was her, me and my sisters are her background singers.
I love it.
And then eventually I started playing the piano. It was the same thing that I became, pianist when she would sing. And so this was something that I just always did in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
And then I did go to college and I went to school. My bachelor's was not for music, but I did continue to do music. So, I would look at the classes. I got a minor. I made sure to do the theory, because I was teaching and I love teaching. I still teach because, I
Yep.
do piano lessons. I couldn't get away from it. I have to.
Yep. Yep.
And so eventually I did leave the classroom. Um, and that was just a hard decision because it's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to, music is just all over the place. And it can
Can be.
be, it
That's true.
definitely can be.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt for so long, it's just like I couldn't get away from it. It's like, okay, this is just, even when I went for my first teaching job, I taught music in schools for 8.5 years. But it wasn't when she saw my resume. I was going for like a sixth grade English, and she's like, "Okay, do you want to teach music? We have a position over." And so I never got away from it. And eventually, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna just write my songs. I'm gonna submit it for television and film." I did not know anybody in television and film.
So wait a minute, Ellen.
Um,
You just okay. So wait a minute, Ellen. You just you're teaching,
yes,
and then you make this decision that wait a minute, I'm
it
gonna start.
and I was already writing songs.
Okay.
I was already teaching privately with piano and voice lessons, but I think at that point, I felt like I had come to where I just had to make a decision because it was just like so many. This was like right around the time where my little ones, they were little at the time. So I was just like, okay, I have to figure this out. And I think I was running away from it because I was afraid. I was afraid, like, what's going to happen if you step out and do this and you fail? And I was like, okay, I don't want to be
What?
that person that fails and just everything. But it was just like that. It was like when it's purpose and when you feel it, it's just like, okay, I'm not saying don't have a backup plan because I still was teaching. I still, I played for my church. I was still doing a lot of different things. But I felt that this was something that I had to do and I had to honor. So this was that I had to step out. I have another song called Call the Doctor because, everybody was like, are you sure? And it's just very tongue in cheek. It's like, yes, I've lost my mind.
And it's called the what?
Call the doctor. And it's just
Call the
it's
doctor.
about stepping out on faith pretty much. But it's very tongue in cheek. Like, I left this behind. And I'm stepping out on, it's another way of saying I'm stepping out on faith and I'm gonna do this. And it's paid off. I could not see the
I'm
future.
throwing a fan over here because this seat hot tonight. This seat is hot tonight.
It at that moment I could not see all the things that were coming down the line. This was just very much like I'm gonna step out and I'm just gonna have to step out and do it. And if I fail, I tried, I put everything that I had into it. And at the time, I'm like, I'm just going to give myself a year. I'm just going to give myself 2 years. But it was just something that I had to at least do.
Uh,
So I will, anybody, if you talk to me about this is what I'm going to tell you, because I had to step out on faith. I had to, I had to honor what I felt like was my purpose.
whew.
If I did not, I would have always been torn. I would have always said, what if? I would have, you know, so I had to do this. It was something that I feel like I did have a choice, but I almost didn't have a choice, because that tugging was like, no, you have to step out and you have to do this.
It is so. I'm saying that because when we think about purpose, to me that's how you know that it's your purpose, because you said I couldn't get away from it. I felt like that I had to step out. Like there wasn't a choice there. Like this is what, or I'm gonna always be in this spot. And it's like, yes, I've lost my mind.
Yes.
Yes, call the doctor. If you did, we all gonna go find this song. I didn't find that one yet. I'm gonna find this song. Call the doctor, because people do think, and it's the people do think you just lost your mind.
Yes. It's very true. Yes.
Oh my gosh. And you guys know I'm not usually just that, like I'm just processing through, but that is a part of purpose. So, but your music led you into your purpose,
Yes.
into which song has the tell us about which song has the I mean, there's 2 songs that have 1 million views on Spotify, correct?
Yes.
So which 2 songs have these million views on Spotify? Because you want to talk about purpose.
Oh my goodness. So this is the craziest thing that's ever. I had I was writing songs for television and film. I had a song called "I'm Feeling Lucky" that was used in a Hershey's commercial. After that, a supervisor, I don't know if it's still the same one, I don't know if he's moved on, he was on The Young and the Restless. They were looking for a love song. It was a wedding scene. And he asked, "Oh, do you have anything like that?" I did not at the time. I'm like, I can turn this around. And so I spent the weekend writing this love song, taking encourage. I'm married, so it's kind of like, I'm writing about weddings, about love songs. I'm making it very fun because they wanted something upbeat and fun. I'm like, I can do this. I submitted it. It's not what they were looking for. And I'm like, okay, that's completely fine. We stepped out, we did it. We put it out anyway because it was done. About 2 years later, um, they used this song in a dance they did for Dance Mom. It was Dance Moms. It was in the finale of a competition that they were trying out for, and they won that big competition. But they showed the song several times, like they were practicing to it. They were doing a lot of different things to it. And that for that song, that's been one of the biggest songs. And I don't know if you know about the show Dance Moms.
Mm-hmm.
They still play reruns of the show. I mean, it's just like there is a fan, it's like
Yes.
they,
They have a
when
fierce
they
fan
watch it,
base.
yes.
Yes, they have a fierce fan base.
And so I would say at least once or twice a year, it pops back up and people are hearing that song for the first time because they're seeing that scene for the first time. So I've had friends I've made from like who've watched the show, like, this is my favorite song. I'm playing this at my wedding. And I mean, it's been that song. They've listened to it over and over again, or they found me from that show. And so I never want to, I know it's, different from radio, but I will never say like television and film is not an outlet for music as well, because I've met so many people who were fans of the show, who love the song, and who continually listen to the song enough for it to get 1 million streams on Spotify. I'm like, you guys are listening to this song, and they've listened to it for years. So
take us back to that. The song they didn't accept the song, but now it has 1 million streams on Spotify. So wait a minute, talk to us about this.
So for that episode of The Young and the Restless, they went a different direction. it happens all the time. At that moment, I was a little, I was a little sad
Yes.
because I didn't understand that this is just what they do. They go on. It felt like rejection at that time. Like I really worked on this song. Maybe it wasn't. Then you start wondering, maybe this song wasn't good enough, but we put it out anyway. And there was that time, about 2 years later, that it was on Dance Moms. And I didn't really understand that at the time because I'm like, oh, okay, this is a nice show. But that was a show again that people love this show. They watch this show and they've watched it over and over. So the impact that ended up having from that moment, and at the moment, I just remember that moment, it just felt very much like, oh, maybe I'm not meant to, it was just that moment of like, I didn't make this. Maybe I wasn't meant to, but I could
That
not see the future. I could not see what this song was going to do. So that's another one of those don't give up. This is a purpose thing, and it's a long game thing too. It's just not immediate gratification. You have to continue to have faith even when things seem like they're not working out at that moment.
have to continue to have faith even when things don't seem like they're working out in the moment. So a rejection, and we say rejection or a no or
Yes,
it didn't work out. They
exactly.
wanted to go another direction, and you feel that, but look where it then
Exactly.
look where it goes, look where it went.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think at first I was more focused on the fact that you wrote the song on the weekend. I was like, wait
Yes.
a minute.
Yes.
Like, but to me, something that I would feel like you would probably mull over and work on for months and weeks or whatever to produce a song. Here it is to produce it, and then for it not to make it.
Yes.
To me, it does. It makes you feel some kind of way, but not knowing that in 2 years,
Yes.
this is where it's going to be on something that maybe that I didn't see, I didn't suspect. And so that's the thing
Exactly.
about purpose is we do have to remember um, that it may not work out right now, but
Yep.
it's okay. It's
Exactly.
gonna be okay.
It's gonna be
Be
okay.
okay.
Exactly.
It's gonna be okay because look at where you are. And you said something, and I don't know if audience if you caught it. And so you also have to be willing to play the long game.
Mm,
And I think we don't want to play the long game. And I think we do want that instant gratification in the moment right now. Let me get it. And then if I don't, then I'm quick to give up. I'm quick to turn away. Um, Talk to me about that part. Like what makes you stay in it? Why do you keep going? Why not then when people questioning you years ago, are you really gonna go into music full time? Why keep going?
I think with every situation like that, I think it does something to build your faith because that moment I didn't stop writing the songs. That was one of the things. I could have given up, but I kept going.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just kind of like those seeds, and then it paid off. Well, then not only am I doing this, now I'm used to like writing for television. So I know, okay, I can keep going. That situation led to what I do now, like on social media and content creation, because it's consistency and it's not giving up. So in that situation, I learned you have to be consistent. You can't stop because you had a bad day. You keep on going and you keep on going and you keep showing up for people online and they keep showing up for you.
That's
So
it.
that it full
Full
circle.
circle.
Yes.
It is. When people, it's the consistent, and that is a key word I think that would you agree that a key word to music being motivating to me is the consistency of it. It
Yes.
is continue to tell your story, to stay with it and
Yes.
not
Yes, definitely.
give up because look where music has and look where it's going to take you. I mean, I can't imagine where this is going to I can't imagine where this is going to go.
With each thing, I feel like, my faith is getting a little bit stronger. So now I'm kind of like, no matter what happens next, I know that, I'm going to keep going because now it's more like I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm going to keep going and see what doors God opens up because this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm being consistent.
Mhm.
I'm doing what I feel like I should be doing, and I have to leave the rest to God because he can see things that I can't see. that I don't know what's down the road, what's coming. I don't know what opportunities are coming next. But if I'm consistent, if I stay the course, if I stay motivated, then those doors will open up.
Hey, listen, we're down. Audience, we're about to run out. We're almost about to run out of time. So you're going to close us. You're going to take the next few minutes and the next couple of seconds and tell me, one, what is your fight song? What is a song that keeps you going? That one. You could choose one song. What is it?
Oh my goodness. That is a question that's going to stump me because there are so many, there's songs that I write that encourage me.
Mhm.
There are songs like My Life is in Your Hands. That's one of those ones that encourages me.
Yes.
I can't choose one.
Okay.
There are
Okay.
so many good
Good
ones.
ones. You get to take it. People
Yes.
want to follow you. How do we do that?
EllenOnceAgain.com. That's my website. I am on social media. TikTok /EllenOnceAgain, Instagram /EllenOnceAgain, YouTube /EllenOnceAgain. So if you can remember the handle Ellen Once Again, you can find me online.
That's it. Well, Ellen, once again, we appreciate you. Audience, thank you so much as always for joining me, for making the choice to choose the Vitamin M Show as your source of motivation and inspiration. And I am so thankful. If you are not following her, I need you to go and I need you to do that. I need you to follow Ellen Once Again. I appreciate you. I love you, and we'll see you on next week.
Join us next week to get your weekly dose of vitamin M. Please visit our website at www.marchellesterling.com.